How's it going, everyone? It's me, Vivi, and welcome back to some more Kingdom Hearts Union Cross story update. Of course, we are talking about the Japanese version here. The North American version is still behind. So what is it this time? The 5 Union leaders, well, 4 in this scene. Lauriam is missing in this one, but you'll see him afterwards. They all discuss of this rule written in the book, Shift Pride, meaning fellow Keyblade wielders have to fight against one another. Ven disapproves. Same goes for Scald. She thinks back to the Unions being completely opposed to one another and she completely hated the feeling. Brain doesn't seem to see what the big issue is. He's not against it. He even tells Ephemera that Lauriam would follow any of his ideas, because Brain sees Ephemera as the leader of the group. So what happens afterwards is this. Ephemera thinks of an alternative, let's just say. He thinks back to what Lauriam told him about data worlds. Data worlds, eh? Lauriam tells Ephemera that all worlds they visit post-Keyblade War are made of data. More backstory to this, we go back to the Maleficent story update, traveling back to Data Enchanted Dominion. If you guys are wondering how did she do that, well, I did make a video, so I'm not gonna get too much into it. If you're curious, just go watch that one. So the summary of that video, at least I'll give you something. She meets a mysterious person named Darkness. He tells Maleficent, he or she tells Maleficent, that after the war, wielders no longer had foretellers to conjure worlds from the book. That's how everything happened. Them visiting worlds, illusions created by the book prior to the war. That's how it worked before. So the Master of Masters made data versions of future worlds in advance. Without the Master of Masters around and the foretellers, conjuring worlds from the book was no longer possible. So with these data versions of worlds, anyone could interact with it. So Ephemera jumps to the idea, hey, why not have the Dandelions fight against data players? Records of players who visited worlds prior to the war. Everything's recorded. With that in mind, Dandelions don't have to have their hearts get clashed. So party versus party, PvP for short, is now canon, folks. Player-facing data records of past Keyblade wielders who suffered their fate during the Keyblade War. That's it for the Union Leaders discussion part. Now the biggest reveal out of this story update is Elrena. Human form, or somebody, of Larxene. Who would have thought Larxene? Already we can tell this girl has a complete different personality than Larxene. She looks much calmer and nice. So what's going on here? Lauriam is looking for Strelitzia, who died by the hands of someone who's among the new Union leaders. Strelitzia was supposed to be part of this group, but someone stole her spot. Evidence of this, well, the killer took the rulebook, and in this scene, it appears that Strelitzia was Lauriam's younger sister. To be technical, the translation is not 100% accurate. At least for this part. There's a bit of confusion going on. We don't really know the context. It sounds ambiguous. The letters you see, it translates to mine and yours. So which one is it? My sister? Your sister? Whose sister is it? We're not too sure. So I'm going with what Cage 13 believes, for now, that Strelitzia is Lauriam's younger sister. Well, was, because she's dead. Okay, if you want to argue, do we really know if Strelitzia is dead or not? Could she have turned into nobody? I mean, we saw her heart leave her body. And there's this art of Union Cross. Who is that girl in that robe? Since I'm bringing this art up, let's go back to what Nomura said about this mysterious character. Here's the question which was asked to Nomura. Among the other revealed 4 Union leaders, an unknown character and someone in black hood. Is the one in the black hood the 5th Union leader? Nomura replied by saying nope. And with that, please pay close attention to what will unfold in the next scenario. Now there's different ways of interpreting this, right? He could be talking about a nobody, being a complete different person from Strelitzia, or it could just not be Strelitzia altogether. Long story short, why do people believe that Strelitzia could be alive in a different form? You know, her nobody. Because of this flower this mysterious person is holding. That species of flower falls within the category of the bleeding heart vine, which symbolizes someone beautiful who died in a tragic way. So with that in mind, people go back to Strelitzia's death scene. And oh, she died in a tragic way, she was innocent. I mean, you know Nomura with his foreshadowing, let's say, his symbolism in Kingdom Hearts, you know. What about Elrena? I mean, if she is Larxene's somebody, it looks obvious. Look at her hair and her weapons, which fit within the color scheme of Strelitzia. Looking at this, Lauriam and if that is Larxene, who turned into nobody hundreds of years ago. I mean, they both fit the theme of flowers. But meh, I'm not gonna base my conclusion off of her weapons. If anything, this is Nomura's way of showing that Lauriam, Elrena, and Strelitzia had some sort of connection. The weapons resembling flowers, them fitting within the theme of flowers, you get it. I think that's it. So, you know what, I'm gonna leave that aside for now, and let's go back to the basics. The whole translation thing. If Strelitzia and Elrena were siblings, if that's what it translates to really, it could explain why Larxene is an Arendelle. Sisters, Anna and Elsa, deep down she sees something in this world, and she's curious. That would have been a cool reason. Let's get one thing straight out of the way. Whatever method these guys used to travel to the future. I mean, come on now, they can't be 100 years old. They die of old age. These two, Elrena, Lauriam, including Ventus, found their way into the birth by sleep timeline. Did they discover the other method, darkness, mentioned to Maleficent? Although not specified, just mentioned? I mean, to time travel, a version of yourself must exist, and you gotta leave your body behind. As for Maleficent time traveling to Kingdom Hearts 2, she didn't exist in that timeline, but she found her way there. There is another way to time travel. Is it through the loss of memories? Because Maleficent doesn't remember any of her adventures going back through time. From what we've seen, Ven and Maleficent don't remember these events from the past. Well, going by young Xehanort's words, memories being etched into your heart, while Maleficent was starting to get remnants of her past encounter, she started remembering the Book of Prophecies in this scene. It's only a matter of time before Larxene and Marluxia start remembering a few tidbits here and there. We never understood the reason behind them, these two trying to overthrow the organization. These two working together. We can say they've been friends since the age of fairy tales. Now the question is, the way Lauriam looks concerned about Strelitzia's whereabouts? It feels like Lauriam is not the killer. Killing his own sister if she is his sister. That'd be insane. Too obvious, maybe, to Nomura? Lauriam being the killer? It's always what I believed. Nomura doesn't want to make it too obvious. He likes the unexpected. So 2 options. It's either Brain or Ven the killer. Ventus? What? Welp! We don't know much about his past in Birth by Sleep. Remember, Xehanort just stumbled upon him and tried using him as a vessel initially. Ven having no memories of Daybreak Town, I mean, Vanitas, his darkness was a madman. That darkness was hiding within Ven. Yeah, Ven disagreed with the Shift Pride automatically, but I won't let that ruin the possibility of Ven being the killer. Knowing Nomura, he could pull off a twist like that. Brain just looks suspicious altogether. The fact that he says Lauriam doesn't want anyone to pry about him looking for someone. It's like he wants to avoid the situation. He doesn't want anyone to discuss of it. To finish off, Elrena looks to be part of the Dandelions. You know, she's present. They're in Daybreak Town, the Unchained Realm. The realm they all went into, the Dandelions and the 5 Union leaders, after the Keyblade War. Lauriam is trying to look for data of Strelitzia, considering the fact that data records of players exist. She's been absent from the Dandelions according to Lauriam, so he's trying to uncover data. One thing I can't wrap my head around. Did the Union leaders know about these data worlds created in advance? Lauriam knew about it for some reason, but Ephemera didn't. Did he? Did anyone know except Lauriam? I'll leave that to you. Why is Lauriam talking to Elrena, by the way? Well, he somehow found out that this girl knew Strelitzia. They could have been friends. Unless, of course, Elrena doesn't remember, because her memories of Strelitzia went away with her memories of the war. Cherethes and spirits trying to make the Dandelions forget about the war, making them think it was all a dream, because the Master of Masters told Ava, remember, to make sure that the Dandelions forget those tragic events. So with that being said, guys, this is it for the video. If you're confused, if you have any questions, leave everything in the comment section below. And as always, I've been Vivi, and thank you so much for watching. Oh, and in before these two end up existing hundreds of years ago.